Hello, everyone. If you are familiar with our channel, you probably know that we said we're not doing food stuff anymore, which is for the most part true unless we change our mind because we can do whatever we want. Um, but there was one particular restaurant that we kept trying to get to, but when it opened, it was so busy that we didn't get to, which is very on brand for our channel. If you are not familiar with this channel, we generally review actual haunted houses, which brings us to our review today of the Haunted House Restaurant,
Yeah.
which is in Cleveland, Ohio, which is very close to us. We are Ohioans, if you somehow do not know that. So yeah, we finally were able to go there. We went to the Home and Garden Festival show thing at
Yeah.
IX Center, and then we went here afterwards. We showed up there right at 4, and still actually had a little bit of a wait. But yeah, we had tried to go there like multiple times, but we tried to go there for like preview weekend because we wanted to have the video up before, but they just decided to just put a note on the door that says, "Oh, we're closed."
Yeah.
From what I understand, when they first opened, there's a bunch of like confusion and stuff like that, but I think they've ironed most of that out. I will say when we arrived, we went up to the hostess, which is cool because they have it's like a movie theater. What do you call that?
Like the box office?
Yeah, the box office. Yeah, the box office.
Yeah.
She actually spoke to you through a microphone, that comes out,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool to get your seating. And she's like, "Oh, just sit down. We'll like be right with you." But we weren't told there was like a wait at all, but like there technically was a wait. And then someone was kind of like not being the nicest to her, being like, "Maybe next time you should tell people that." And she was very professional. She's like, "Oh yeah, maybe I should." Which, well, I mean, maybe you should.
Yeah.
But they had just opened, and I think things were a little bit hectic for them. But I just thought that was like weird. Just, oh, they didn't ask her name or anything. Just go have a seat. I'll come get you.
Yeah, it was weird because like everybody else that was sitting there waiting, they had names on the wait, but she never asked us our name.
Yeah, and eventually she did. It was about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
She did come, and she just kind of walked over, and she's like, "Oh, come right this way."
Yeah.
Now, the place I would say is more like scary movie, horror movie themed than it is haunted house. But I mean, they're calling it the Haunted House Restaurant because I think that's like, the place is like haunted by these things. I assume is kind of where they're kind of going with that name. Not necessarily that it's a haunted house like a haunted attraction haunted house, but they're saying like you're in a haunted house.
Yeah.
Which is kind of thing because they do have like, and I have a couple pictures here. They do have like animatronics and stuff like that. But for the movie thing though, I mean like they actually do have, which I took a picture of this as well. Like the lighting is like a cool looking film reel.
Yeah, there's film reel lights, and then there's a huge murals all over the restaurant that have a lot of horror movie icons on them, and it's kind of dark in there a little bit.
Yeah, it is a little dark in there.
So it's got that spooky atmosphere to it, and then the menu's actually themed pretty well as well.
Yeah, I mean most of it's just putting like names on things, like, and we'll get into this a little bit more when we talk about what we have, but they have just things like. So this menu that's online is a little bit different than I think what this is the brunch menu that I'm looking at here. Yeah, they do have brunch as well. We would like to go back and try the brunch, but yeah, they do have things like the Pennywise, the Nashville Massacre, the Nightmare on Elm Street corn. So fun little punny names.
Yeah, that one was hard
like
to say because I was like, Nightmare on Elm Street corn.
And their slogan is the only thing scary here is the food. So, or the only thing scary here is how good the food is. What the tagline is, and I'd say that I for the most part agree with that.
Yeah, the food was really good.
Yeah, but as generally when we do the food reviews, and again, we've kind of put them on hold. We used to have like a thing we did called Ohio Eats, and then the Rona happened, and then it was kind of hard we couldn't go to restaurants, and then like those videos never did very well either. So if you like this, if you like seeing us do food reviews, because again, usually we do like the podcast Creatures and Haunts, which is where we which is where we do like a lot of spooky stuff. But we used to do like snack box and stuff like that, and the food part of the channel just never did well, so we decided this year we put a higher focus on just like the supernatural, the creepy, that type of stuff. But if you do like the food reviews, let us know. But the first thing that we got was, well, actually, you know what? The first thing we technically got was popcorn.
Popcorn.
Which is cool. They brought each of us a little trough. And what's a cool little added touch is in the middle, they have like 4 different seasonings you can put on that popcorn.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice little touch. So you're sitting in a movie theater waiting for your scary movie to start, and you got a little thing of popcorn. And yeah, they had like kettle corn, garlic, and Parmesan, a couple other different flavors that you could sprinkle on there, or you could just eat it by itself. It was actually pretty good popcorn.
Yep. And they actually have, it smells like popcorn you walk in there. They
Yeah.
actually have like a popcorn maker type of thing, like right when you walk into the restaurant itself. But the appetizer we decided to get, and there's quite a few different good sounding ones on here, but they call it the Scooby Snacks, and it's nachos with pulled chicken, wontons, sweet chili queso, chipotle pico, and Asian guacamole.
Yeah, and so the nachos were actually the wontons.
Yes.
Like they took wontons and deep fried them into like nacho kind of shapes, and then piled everything on top of it.
Very lightly fried, might I add,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and it was a really good version of nachos.
It was
Just
really good.
really
Something
light, and like the flavors were just really like
Yes, it was definitely
odd. It was
different.
really good.
I would disagree with it saying that there's pico on there, because it was more of almost like a bruschetta type of thing. Like the tomatoes
Yeah.
were just sliced like in half, cherry tomatoes, and like slightly sautéed, it seemed like.
Yeah.
But they weren't like pico, you think like it chopped up real fine
Yeah.
and that. So there really wasn't that on there. The queso was kind of a slightly smoky queso, and there was like a sweetness to the what was it? What was the sweet? Oh, Asian. Oh wait, no, the Asian guacamole was actually really good. That was on the side there. That wasn't put on top. Oh, it's a sweet chili queso. Okay, because there was like a sweetness.
Yeah.
I mainly tasted it with the chicken.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
because I think the chicken was kind of like, doused in that queso.
Yeah,
So it kind of
there's-
took over that flavor.
But very big portion as well, and it was
Yeah.
only what, $9.99.
Yeah, it was cheap. And I mean, it's well worth the money. Like, honestly, I'm thinking next time
yeah.
if we go, I might just get that as an entree because it was so good.
Yeah, it was really good. Some other things that sound pretty good on here is the Nashville Massacre, which kind of sounds like their take on Bang Bang Shrimp. It's fried hot shrimp with avocado mousse, which sounds good, and a braised pineapple salsa. That one sounded really good, and that one's $13.99.
Yeah.
And then the Nightmare on Elm Street corn that we were talking about, that one is street corn with a garlic aioli, cajita cheese, smoked bourbon paprika, cilantro, and candied bacon. They have a whole bunch of other things like mozzarella sticks, and they have some fried salmon bites. That actually sounds interesting. I don't think I've ever had fried salmon bites.
Huh.
So yeah, there's a
I
lot
didn't
of
notice that.
yeah. there's a lot of different things to try on here. They have a couple salads. Obviously, we didn't get salads, but they have, it's called Salad on the Haunted Hill, which is like their house salad, and they have a Seymour salad, which looks like it's a Caesar
salad, yeah.
And then we did get drinks. We were going to get different drinks, but we both got what was it called, the Beetlejuice?
Yeah, we both got Beetlejuice. I originally was going to get Trick or Treat, which was supposed to be like a like almost like a caramel apple alcoholic drink. They were out of all the stuff to make it.
Yeah,
Meh.
which is like everywhere me and Kim try to go somewhere.
I
They're
know.
always out of the thing we want.
Right.
I don't see the drink menu online, but
Oh.
but yeah, they have a lot, and they also have like fancy. They call them potion bowls. They're fish bowls, but they put dry ice in them, and they bring it to your table, and then they pour the liquid in, and then it billows smoke out all over you.
Yeah.
They seemed kind of expensive for what you got. They were, I think, $34 or $32 or something like that. Now they probably are to be shared, but there's a lot of ice and like gummies and stuff in it, so I feel like you're paying more for the show,
Yeah.
than you are for anything else. Now, entree-wise, I'll let you go ahead and talk about what you got first.
Okay, I got the Lurch burger with fries, and it was a burger with caramelized onions, smoked Gouda, bacon jam, garlic aioli, and arugula. And then it was served with some seasoned waffle fries
Yeah.
that were kind of like double fried.
They're like kind of like battered, yeah.
Yeah,
they
they were
tasted a
battered a
bit
little
like
bit.
an Arby's fry or something like
Yeah,
that, like an Arby's
yeah.
curly fry. I thought yours was pretty good. The burger seemed
Yeah.
good quality. The cheese, that smoked Gouda had a strong.
The Gouda really
Yeah.
made that, and the bacon jam was really good because I was like, I bit into it and I was like, oh,
Pretty good
That's
portion
bacon.
size, I would say, as well.
yeah, it wasn't a
Mhm.
huge ginormous burger, but it was a decent size, I thought.
Yeah.
And they gave you a ton of fries with it as well. I didn't eat all of it because we smashed those nachos.
Oh wow, we like scraped the plate. Yeah, it was really good. The nachos, I think, were the favorite. Like,
Yeah.
nothing we had was bad, but the nachos were our favorite because they
Yeah.
were unique and they were really good. I ended up getting Jerk Silence of the Lamb chops, which are jerk lamb lollipops, mashed potatoes, with a chimichurri drizzle. It doesn't state it, but there's also like a shit ton of broccoli on them.
Yeah,
I'm not a
there's a
fan
lot
of
of
steamed
broccoli.
broccoli. I just don't like it, so I picked that up. But this was a good portion as well. It was like, I think it was 5 or 6 lamb
Yeah, there was a
chops,
lot of lamb chops on
a
there.
ton of potatoes underneath the forest of broccoli. So if you like broccoli, a lot of food there too. I mean, I only ate like 2 lamb chops, and then I think the rest I took home because we wanted to get dessert. Since we planned on doing a review, we kind of wanted to get as much as we could stomach. But they also have some other stuff that sounds really good. They have Brinner, which of course is your breakfast for dinner. The one that sounded really good to me was they call it the Pennywise, which is a red waffle sandwich, fried chicken breast over medium eggs, pepper jack cheese, candied bacon, and finished with haunted maple heat sauce. So that sounds really good. And they have a couple other ones like the Twilight, which is a black waffle and it has sticky fried chicken, haunted maple sauce on it. They have fun things like a bird box sandwich with sounds like it's just a normal chicken sandwich, but it does have Cajun mayo. Oh, and brown sugar sauce. That actually sounds pretty good too, and it has that haunted maple sauce on it. So it's sounds almost like a chicken waffle sandwich. So they have that over here, but it's like a normal fry, but I guess they put their maple sauce on it. Crab cakes, stuff like that. They also have actually, it's nice. They have a vegan portion of the menu. Like they have bang bang cauliflower. They have that street corn, but it's fully vegan. So like the cheese and stuff that's on it is like vegan cheese.
It's called Children of the Street Corn.
Yeah, children of the street corn, yeah. And they also have an Impossible Bird Box, which is basically the same thing except with vegan, which is like fried cauliflower, it says. Let's see here. Oh, and one other thing because we did get dessert, but before we talk about that, this place was a lot of fun. We were there for, I'd say, about an hour and 10 minutes, right around there from actually seating, probably about an hour. And within that time, there was a whole bunch of cool little things that happened. And I got one of it filmed because, like, the things happened. I'm like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing. So apparently, I don't know if they do this every time, but someone ordered the Jaws pizza, which is like a seafood pizza. Actually, let's see, what is it? It's a pizza with seafood cream sauce, cheese, shrimp, salmon, lobster tail, caramelized onion, spinach, and roasted red peppers. And they actually started playing throughout the entire restaurant the Jaws music, and they had like giant sparklers in their hands, and then the guy with like a shark head delivered the pizza to the table.
Yeah.
And there was also 2 different birthday parties which they played the Purge for, and people wore Purge masks with like machetes and the giant sparkling candles as they delivered the dessert to the people. And Kim also got to win some stuff through trivia.
Yeah, they actually, I guess every night they do like trivia and games and stuff like that. So we were actually just finishing up our entrees, and they were like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna play a horror movie music trivia or something like that." And they're like, they played some clips from some different horror movies and TV shows and stuff like that. And I won a little keychain, and I won a card that says 15% off our next visit.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. Some other people won some stuff too. No big prizes, but it was just a fun little thing.
Yeah.
Everyone there also seemed super friendly. Our waitress was nice, pretty attentive. Even like I said, the host who kind of like messed up a little bit, she was super polite to the guy that was kind of being mean to her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they all had like fun like stuff that they were wearing, and that like the host, she had kind of like this almost like she almost dressed like a little bit of like a haunted doll, maybe was kind of what she was going for.
Yeah, she was very gothic. She had
Yeah.
like these really like actually more than thigh high boots on.
Yeah.
Like I want to say her outfit was very cute. It was very gothic looking and stuff like that. And then all the servers had t-shirts on that actually had it looked like in the old days when they used to have people in the theaters that would like lead you to your seat and stuff like that with like the flashlights and stuff like that. Their shirts actually had where it looked like they had the buttons of that jacket that they would wear on there. And then on the back it said, like featured on this and this is that. And which I thought was a nice little touch that they had for that.
I was happy with the theming. It wasn't overdone, but there's definitely enough to warrant what they're doing in the name. There's some really nice art, and I don't have a lot of pictures of this. I probably should have took more, but there's some really nice art throughout the restaurant that an artist has done with like a mashup of different like movie characters like Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters. There's a whole bunch of them. Yeah,
Frankenstein.
Yeah, that one was really cool. That was one you pointed out that you
really
liked.
Cool because I really liked the way that the artist did. And it's kind of the way I paint when I used to paint. Is like they don't just slap on green and be like, okay, that's Frankenstein's monster. They like blended it in with different colors like blues and yellows and grays, and just made it this very beautiful like mixture of all these colors, and it really worked, and it was really pretty.
And then, yeah, so for dessert, their dessert options isn't huge. They actually have 3 different cheesecakes. The one we had was the Hennessy Peach Cobbler Cheesecake, which is 21 and over. You can only order that. They also have Frosted Animal Cookie Cheesecake, which sounds great. But we just could not have more than one cheesecake. We shared it because we were already really full. And then a Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cheesecake, which also sounds really good.
Yeah.
So the Hennessy Peach Cobbler Cheesecake, the cheesecake itself had like cinnamon throughout it, so it did taste kind of like a cobbler. And then there's Hennessy soaked peaches on top of that.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I don't really get alcohol from it necessarily. I didn't really taste it.
No.
There wasn't like that bitter like punchness or anything from it like you get sometimes when you soak stuff in alcohol, but
then again, I've never actually had Hennessy, so I don't know what it tastes like.
yeah, I've never had Hennessy straight.
So I don't know if maybe I was tasting it. Maybe it tastes like peaches. I don't know.
Might have been a peach. I don't know. Might have been peach flavored.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall the experience was very good. The prices for the most part are very reasonable price. Outside the fishbowl seem like they're a little high.
Yeah.
But everything else, like our normal drink, I think our drinks were 8 or 10. I forget how much they were.
Yeah.
But they were fairly
like $10,
strong, very good. They were really well balanced because
Oh yeah.
I don't think we even talked about what it was. It was basically a pina colada with blueberry in it.
Yeah.
But they use sour mix to cut how crazy sweet pina coladas can be. And so now it was still sweet. So if you don't like sweet drinks, you're not going to like this. But it's not as horrifically sweet as pina coladas are most places. It was a lot more well balanced for a sweet drink. But yeah, we definitely plan on going back to it at some point. And I wish there was an actual haunted house that was closer because this would be like the perfect thing. Like go here before or after your like haunted house. I mean, there's Bloodview, I guess, which probably isn't too far. I don't know how far, but that's probably the closest that I'd recommend, at least that's in Cleveland, to go to. But yeah, let us know. Have you been there? What did you think about it? Did you have a good experience? I know things, from what I heard, were a little rocky when it first started. You know, maybe give it another chance if you went there when it first opened and you didn't have a good experience. But yeah, we'd love to know if it's something you visited or if you plan on visiting in the future. And also let us know if you'd like to see us review more restaurants. Because it doesn't necessarily mean we'll stop doing like the more creepy content and stuff, but like, especially like right now, because like we keep getting like torrential downpours of snow in Ohio. So like, even if we wanted to go ghost hunting, like we can't really walk anywhere because like there's almost as much snow as there is us. So yeah.
I feel like I live in the Antarctic or something.
It's something else. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Do all of that crap. Make sure you ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos that are coming up. And again, we also have a podcast, so if you'd like to listen to the podcast called Creeps, Creatures, and Haunts.
Oh my.
You can also find that on pretty much any platform that exists, but we also upload the video form as well. The podcast always goes online like midnight Friday, so it'll be when you're in the morning, and then the video is always 5 o'clock on Friday. Sometimes we do some bonus episodes during the week as well, but then we also have a bunch of different video things like actual ghost hunts and again, and then like, not actual haunted house reviews, but like Halloween time haunted house reviews, but we also go to actual haunted houses and don't review them, but we investigate them.
Yeah.
And then we talk about those in podcast form as well as the video. And we have a lot coming up planned for this year as well. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one.
Bye.